What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the God Strike Report. So I'm doing a deck profile on my new favorite leader, Android 20. I unfortunately did not do that well throughout the weekend, but it's still a great deck. I think it's fun. But technically I was the only one to play this leader through the regional and then also top TOP. So I don't know why. I think the leader's great, but I guess others don't. But on the front side, active main, look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Grab any green or yellow android, add it to your hand, and the rest go on the bottom. When you awaken, it's an untapped 2-liter. And on the back side, when it attacks, draw a card. And then its effect is if you have no field at all, you can tap 1 green and play a green or yellow android card from your drop area with its skills negated for turn. So that field's just to help a Successor. It's honestly not a huge proc. It usually never does it. But it hardly comes up because usually, if you're at that point, you're usually losing. So start off the deck. Secret Rare, because that card is gross. Free Successor, Quad Strike, Deflect, Energy Exhaust, Ultimate, what other keywords does it have? And it gains dual attack if you have 5 mana, and if you have 5 mana, you rip 3 random cards from your opponent's hand. So yeah, he's pretty nuts. So I run the other cell for Successor. I run 3 of this. When you play this card, your opponent reveals their hand, and you take any 3 battle cards from it. Doesn't have power restrictions, so you can rip secret rares and all that stuff. So any 3 battle cards, and then also you negate their leader skills for the turn. So against Surge matchups, where like Surge Coup, where they can remove skills for turn, you can just play this, remove it, so then you can swing safely for Triple Strike knowing they can't remove it. So, and then the other one that's probably technically the better of the 2 after this weekend is 9-drop Super 17. When you play this guy with Successor, or actually, technically when you play him at all, your opponent, you choose 4 cards from your opponent's life and place them in a drop as long as they're 8. So, like, if they're at 7 life, you crit them down to 4. If they're at 7, they go down to 4. If they're at 8, they'll go down to 4. It does not matter. And then when he attacks, you draw a card and tap any 2 of your opponent's cards. So, like, any of their blockers, their mana, anything. Probably one of the best cards in the entire format, if not the, is Broly. We get so busted with this just because easy. I can summon this on turn 2. It's not that great, but like against matchups like Gohan or Boo, if I can just clap back kill, easy. Comes into play, tap anything, draw, or kill a thing greater to or equal to their mana. And then 3 of the Krillin 18 combo arrival come into play. Choose a keyword skill on a card and rest but ignore it. And then, or make him discard a card. That is every single multicolor card in the deck that's green-yellow. I do not run check lands because of the leader effect. You search the top 3. I only run 3 check lands in almost any build I make. But you always cycle them to the bottom, so they're a dead card in the deck, to be honest. It's only good when you happen to draw them, and even so, it's just a mana, so it's not worth really being in the deck. So going in, I actually run the OG cell chain. So I run a 1-2-2. And because of that small ratio, because of my leader, if I see these off my top 3, they go to the bottom of the deck. So I know they're in the deck. And I cycle through so fast, I'm digging through like half the deck in like 3 turns. So I'm bound to find this. So, and if like I can stick it without getting Frost of the Poison, or sometimes I just play it to get Frost of the Poison in the hopes of my Successor being able to proc. But opponents never expect that. Like I played this card on turn 3, I cell chained up. The dude had to pick up the 7-drop cell. This guy's been out of the format so long that people don't know what he does. It's such a great feeling. And then I play 1 of the 9-drop cell. It's the new tournament pack. When one of your cards 7 or higher has been removed by a skill of your opponent, this can come into play, kill a 5 or less, and then it's a perfect Successor for 9. So that actually turned, I was able to cell chain up to 7, pass. He then used his entire hand to Beerus Arrival and kill this, which then flew this into play for 9 mana, and then I was able to Super 17 and proc him for 4 damage for free. So it's pretty broken. I sideboard a second, but and then just going into some basic stuff. 3 Vegeta the Cruel, great card. Only run 3. It's okay of a card because of the leader effect. You can't search it, so you have to draw it naturally. But Vegeta the Cruel is just too good of a card. I run 2 of the Hellfighter counterplay, which is searchable. Comes into play and negates the skills of the card. So their autos still fire, but say if someone plays Smoke Dragon on you, you counterplay it, and you negate its skills, so they can't activate main. So they played 5 mana for nothing. 2 Doctor Zero, really good card. 1-drop draw, so cantrip, that's searchable. And then 3 mana, 2 green, 1 yellow. You can play any Android 17 and any Android 18 from your drop area. And their skills are still live. So you just play 8 mana worth of cards for 3. Or 4 if you casted it. Speaking of, 117. That's really the only good target for it. But it's because of the negate, you can throw it right in the drop area. And then it's a perfect proc. Speaking of negate, when you negate with this card, Abnell hates this card.
I hate it.
When you negate with this card, you choose any Android 4 or less from your deck and place it into your drop area. It needs a body, 4K, comboable 5K. And then his combo piece is you put 18 in the drop area.
Ugh.
So Android 18 effect, tap 1 mana, send this card to your warp from your drop. Add any 1-drop Android from your drop area to your hand. So that is either Android 17 negate or Doctor Zero draw. So the play for Gohan is once I get 1, this 1 negate turned into 4, as long as these are in deck. So negate the attack, put in drop. Swing at the leader, combo it off, negate the attack, put in drop, grab it back, negate the attack, just etc, etc. So I get 4 negates off of 1, and then I have 2 more, and then 2 Shocking Death Balls. So you can literally negate their leader 10 turns in a row. I run 4 of the new Android 15. It is 1 mana combo. During your opponent's turn, when you play this card, you take 1 or 2. You have to take a life. And then you choose one of you. So take 1 or 2, and then choose one of your energy and switch it to active mode. So, and the best part about that is it sets up for Successor, and you can punish someone, say if you have like a Vegeta the Cruel. Like a lot of times I'll over combo to put 2 of these in play for Successor reasons. And then I untap and say, like, they play another card. I have the 2 mana open I just used for Vegeta the Cruel. So then I have 7 mana perfectly on 3. Or 9 mana perfectly on 3, what am I saying? But then 3 blocker Krillin. Free blocker, but it's also 2 mana easy for Successor. I run a full 4 of the Android 18 super combo. Strictly because it's searchable by leader. Paragus wasn't doing good as a 2-2 split. But 4 of it, and you rip hand with Cell, you just negate their resources. So their hand's like around 7 or 8. And if you drop a Cell and then a couple of these, game's over. I run 1 Mira from the skies. It is an Android, but it's not searchable because it only searches green or yellow. But it's a good finisher, just in case. 1 mana draw card and untaps your mana, so it's literally just free. And then 2 Android Artificial Impact. This card's disgusting. This is a staple for every green deck now. It can be comboed for 5K, which makes it insane. 3 mana, choose any card ignoring barrier. So any card in the game that doesn't have indestructible, it dies. And then you rip a random card from your opponent's hand. So you'll see in Abnell's deck profile, he rips a ton of random cards and just sacks people, take their negate, take their secret rare, take whatever you're going to do, your Free Shroud. And if you don't have that big blame play, can't do anything. And then 2 Shocking Death Ball. It's a negate, Sparking negate. Generically good. It's actually come back in the format a little bit with Gohan with the weenies. You can kill their stuff. 1-drop Frieza is an insane card that this deck loses to if you don't remove it. But it's a pretty insane card. And then going into Sideboard, I put somewhere, where's my deck box? I'll find it. But go over a little combo real quick. So the main play is to win the dice roll, of course, go first. And then the 4 cards you want opening hand are, where's the other one? All the way over here. That and that. It's kind of messed up my sideboard right now. But, so basically, this is the 4-card combo you want in your hand, opening hand. So definitely, especially Krillin. Especially Krillin, because Krillin is not searchable. So you honestly, I know it's weird, you hard mulligan for Krillin. So the play is, you charge pass, do your leader effect, turn 2, charge pass, do your leader effect. They go into their turn 2. Almost every deck in the format gains advantage through attacking. I mean, you have decks like Piccolo, Successor, which are mad, like that sometimes attack, but don't. But the play is when they attack you, you combo this, and then you combo any green card from your hand. Usually the super combo, so you make them bottom deck a card, and then it puts you for green-yellow. You arrival in this. This makes him discard a card, and then just anything, combat ends, you comboed out. This comes into play, wait for opponent responses, take 1 or 2 life, depending on situation, and then untap your mana. They'll usually pass or monkey ape or do whatever they gotta do. As long as these both survive, you untap with for 7, then you charge, and then immediately go play for 2 because you have an 18 in play. You're not awakened, so you can't do it just because of leader. But if you have this in play, that puts you a perfect Successor 9 by turn 3 to then sack off for Super 17. If your opponent didn't play anything to take their life, they are now losing. And also, you're ahead of the curve, so you can't get Frostily poisoned. So you'd have to be facing a Bloodlust deck for this not to happen. So you play it, you crit 4 of their life, take away a million things of advantage, and then swing for 30k crit and tap 2 of their mana. So the card's disgusting, and then turn 3 play would just be Broly and this. So combo this, combo green, combo Broly. So those are the main 2 arrival plays that you want to hit to set up Cell or Super 17. And then if this ever lives a turn, if you have a Cell follow-up, the game is essentially over. Because this thing followed up by a Cell where you tap their mana so their counterplays are down, they're going to have to do some crazy shenanigans to untap or either stop this guy. And even if they kill this guy somehow and you have the 9-drop Cell, it's just instant lose for them. And then I have my sideboard finally. But some of it's missing because I had to give some cards back. But I do side 4 for the greater good. This is for the Gohan matchup.
I hate you.
So I side 4 because of the leader effect. Like I said, the leader effect is everything in this deck because you can't run certain cards because they're not searchable, so you can't run low. You have to run high of things that are in Android, so you have the chance of seeing them, like Broly. But Broly's just a good card. But so this start with Gohan, it turns into a double negate just like your Android 17 essentially. So you negate from hand and then you negate from drop. You always want to have a double negate situation on your Gohan's Awakened turn because you never want to have them a chance to actually get through and put Cell Kamehameha and like rip stuff from you. One Android, another one in the sideboard. And then I had another Android 17 negate in the sideboard, but I had to give it back to a friend. So another 2 of these just because the cycle power. And then for the Boo matchup, Black Boo is actually the worst matchup for this deck. Surge has a better chance strictly because, like Piccolo Surge Successor, has a better chance because they have their leader ability to, say, like, get mana open, like flip mana off their leader effect, and just fat hand. So it has a better advantage against that, and they have more options like D-Magic, and some of them are in blue, so they have Beam. So it's harder for this deck to survive against Black Boo. So this card's good because you can negate their 6-drops effect. This card's free to play if you have no field and your opponent has a card that's greater than their mana in play. So they have that 6-drop Boo that can't be removed by skills. You can play this out and negate that Boo's skills and then kill it. And then also for the Boo matchup is 3 Flying Nimbus, just because Nimbus, and then 3 of the Android 16 blocker. They don't have a ton of removal, and the problem is you have to play this in like a good situation, like maybe an Awakened turn. I didn't get to test with it too much, but the idea was to play it, have it out, and they can't safely swing, and they're only going to have 5 cards of hand to combo. So they're going to have to dump into it, and if you have enough to out-combo, it's going to restand, and then their turn's over. So, but a good card in general, but the deck was a lot of fun. I wouldn't change a whole lot about the list, just because of what went down. Like, day 1, the list was different. I didn't run an extra 17 negate, an extra 18, all that stuff. And I got punished. The deck didn't function well on day 1. I changed some things around. It functioned well on day 2. I should have done personally better. I could have done a lot more things different, won some games. But it happens. Opponents run into Frostily poison decks a lot, which suck. Because I didn't see the Broly to rival to tap their mana. But these things happen. You should keep going. I'm going to keep playing the deck for some fun. But TOP was a lot of fun. I loved it. I was going to be on stream for you guys to see the deck, but they cut the last round when I was on the stage. So we ended up not playing it, so I couldn't play a win-and-in situation. But like I said, these things happen. But congrats to Justin Rios, again, Player of the Year, for winning the whole entire thing. Congrats to everyone who topped, all that stuff, made some money. And of course, absolute shoutouts to Dalen Mack. Dude's insane, youngest TO ever. Threw on probably one of the events of the year. Went super smooth. Best Coast pairings went super well. All the extra stuff like side events, like the jacket, the championship belt, all this cool stuff. It was honestly super awesome to see. Like, it's a non-TO. Like, they didn't TO before. They did it because they wanted to. So, like, they threw on a huge event that was, like, one for the entire history of this game. And then it's only up from here. We're going to keep going. The next event, big one, also helped hosted by Dalen Mack over at Gamers R Us in Cocoa, Florida, March 21st and 22nd. It's a 2-day event. How much money do we have in the line, Seth? It's a 7K. So lots of money. I believe we're capping somewhere around like 150.
Nah, we're gonna push to 180 soft cap.
Okay, 180 soft cap. Pre-reg, get your stuff. There's like a million packs, mats, all that stuff. So once again, also brought to you by Man Myth Legend Dale Mac. Once again, shout out to him. Everyone should be loving this dude for what he's doing for the game and card games in general. But that's about it. Shout out to Gamers R Us, the team, Abnell, who topped his regional. He's behind the camera. Travis and Jason and myself, we all sucked, so we didn't get nothing. But
And we got our man John Alonzo that does all our mat
yeah, he does our mat
Yes,
design.
sir.
so
Yes, sir. Shout out.
If you need mats, this is the man. Custom sleeves right
Yes,
here.
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, I'll put something in the comments so you guys can come find me.
Yeah, there you go,
Yes,
see?
sir. Yes, sir.
But as always, have a good one. I'll see you next time.